Hey, welcome to Dee's Verdict. And today we're going to talk about Irv Gotti's interview on Drink Champs, where he talked about Ashanti, the upcoming Murder Inc. documentary, and more. He had a lot to say about Ashanti, and I don't know how I feel about it. I want to know how you guys feel about it. So don't forget to like the video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for tuning in. He went on Drink Champs and he was saying, talking about their relationship. The relationship was like 20 years ago, as we know. Ashanti was part of the Murder Inc. label, and he said that he was really the one that he put her on. He basically called her a studio rat, that he wasn't really into R&B and that he didn't want to produce R&B. He was more into like rap hip hop, and that one day they were hanging out because they, were in a relationship, even though he was married the entire time. He talks about that they were, hanging out, chilling one day, and afterwards he was in the shower and he came all up with the whole song Happy, which is one of her big hits. And we all were rocking out to Ashanti back in the day. And also, Ja Rule is there on the Drink Champs interview, and he keeps saying that he is neutral to a lot of this. Irv Gotti dishes a lot of tea. He even brings up the relationship with J-Lo, how things went bad. And Ja Rule is Switzerland the entire time. And it's funny because we don't want to bring up Fire Festival. Anyway, moving on. So Irv Gotti goes on to say that, Ashanti was, not all that to him. She wasn't the one. He had several women, and they're all fine, and he always with a bad chick. So the way he talks about her and says that, he basically not checking for her, and that, back in the day he was in his feelings, which we can clearly see and see it from the interview. So shout out to Drink Champs. Go check it out. And maybe this title should have been Tea Champs, because Irv Gotti was like spilling tea. He said Ashanti wants nothing to do with Murder Inc., and that's been for years. She was approached several times for being involved in the upcoming BET documentary about Murder Inc. She didn't want anything to do with it, and I don't blame her. The way I'm seeing him carrying on in this interview, I'm not checking for it. Ashanti was a big part of Murder Inc. And so if she's not part of that documentary, it's going to not be bringing what it should have been bringing Irv Gotti. That's what you should have been trying to mend fences with Ashanti, instead of out here trying to drag her in these streets, trying to make her look like, she wasn't that chick and that you put her on. Maybe you should have approached her a little differently. But Ashanti knows something about your ass that we don't. But we're going to move on from that, because we already know he a whole clown out here for the way he is behaving and talking about Ashanti on this interview. It was really a trip, because he also brought up how he found out about her dating Nelly, that he was watching an NBA ball game, watching Derrick Rose, and that there was a commotion and the crowd said, "Oh, Ashanti and Nelly are in the house, honey, shout out Country Grandma." And, Ashanti recently performed and Nelly was on stage, and they reunited and made a little slick shout out. But shout out to Ashanti out here. Tell me what you're thinking about this interview he gave on Drink Champs, aka Tea Champs this time with this last interview. I like Drink Champs. It's a lot of drinking going on, hence the name. But tell me what you think about Irv Gotti. What do you think about his comments about Ashanti? And are you going to watch this upcoming documentary on BET about Murder Inc.? But don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to my channel. My name is Dee, and that way you can get upcoming notifications. When I drop some tea, you get the tea. So thank you for tuning in and have a good day.